I'm Bonnie Rabikoff, and this week we are at the cafe in Briarcliff Village with restaurateurs Joe and Judy Rately. Both of you, thank me for inviting me into your kitchen. This is a very charming setting for a restaurant. I know you've had a unique journey here. Tell me about it.
Well, part of my journey goes bureaucrat for 18 years, entrepreneur, created the Greenie's Dog Treats.
Say that again?
Greenie's Dog Treats.
Greenie's Dog Treats. Okay, this is a very unique journey for a restaurateur.
It's just like they do with dogs on human tooth products. They use dogs kind of as the prototypes to figure out what to do. Well, we used the dogs to figure out what to do, and then we took the next step to feed the humans.
That is unique. Now, this is you invented. You were in the bureaucracy for what organization?
I worked for the Tennessee Valley Authority for 10 years and then the U.S. Department of Agriculture for 8.
So there's been a connection to food. So there you were with the Department of Agriculture, and you had a dog with a
terrible breath
problem.
You didn't want to be close to Ivan.
No.
He was so beautiful, though. You did want to because you wanted to hug him all the time.
But he had a
you
problem.
had to stand away.
Dog halitosis.
Yes.
He had major dog halitosis. And
Yeah.
so your husband, being the creative, scientific guy that he
before
is.
that, I said, honey, you work with all these products
Yes.
with the government. He was helping to manage research with USDA. And I said, Shirley, you're the smartest man I know. I hope that
See,
you
she
come up
had
with
this
something.
bizarre idea that if you manage research, you know how to do research. They're two very different things.
Maybe, but it worked. So you did. Your wife's challenge, please fix this problem. I mean, what are they
Challenge?
here for, really?
It
It
So,
was more of a challenge. Challenge is an understatement by quite a bit.
So you really did develop a product that was then bought by Pet Foods?
Mars Candy actually wound up buying it. They are the largest pet food dog treat company in the world.
And really, now tell us the truth. Did it fix the dog's breath?
Oh my goodness, in about 10 days we began to notice that Ivan's breath was really
Ivan.
nice.
Poor Ivan.
And so was Katie, his mate.
His mate.
Both had
A problem.
And they would fight for those treats. We had to watch it because they liked him so much.
So it really worked, and then you sold it to a company whose business it is to make dog treats. All right, so...
In the meantime, we were in the business for 10 years.
Oh, you were in the business for 10 years, then sold it. You went from dog treats to humans.
Human treats.
Tell me the tide, the journey from dog treats to the cafe.
Well, it's kind of a bizarre one.
No.
But then I'm involved with it, so it should be, right?
We got that figured out, don't we? Yeah.
So anyway, I'm interested in a lot of things, and you can tell by my body build that food is one of them.
I see.
And I'm part of the seafood crowd. I see it and I eat it.
Okay, now a new meaning to seafood, yes.
And so we had the opportunity, since we have the Spa Toscana right across the parking lot here in Briarcliff Village, to get involved with a restaurant, and we took the opportunity, and so here we are today.
Okay, so from the Department of Agriculture to dog food treats to that help with bad doggy breath, to the cafe. So what's the concept for the cafe? I always ask my restaurateurs that. What kind of dining experience do you want us to have here?
We have always thought we were a family experience restaurant, but I think we're more of a working couple restaurant.
Okay.
Really want it to be an experience.
Okay.
Not just food, but an experience.
The whole ambiance.
The ambiance, having people come in, and having Chef Thomas come out and visit with them, and give them an experience that's more than food, more than they get at a lot of places. And this is kind of a little hidden secret here at Briarcliff Village.
You know, it's a wonderful secret, though, and one that we don't want to keep. But
No.
this is charming. it doesn't feel like a strip mall. It does. The word village, I think, is key. It does have a sense of village here, a lot of locally owned. And here we're chef-driven. And it's one of the hallmarks of the In the Kitchen series is that devotion to the very experience that you're providing
Well,
for
you know,
your
Bonnie,
guests.
when we would go to the little villages in Switzerland, there was always a little cafe. And people
I
have
see.
tried to get us to change the name, but I said, that really ruins the village concept because you always have a cafe. Somebody needs to have the cafe.
Don't you change the name or obviously all the wonderful food that you're providing here. I think that we should, well, how would you, first of all, describe the food here?
Great.
Okay, we got the great part. I've eaten it, so I can vouch for the great part. Is it American? Is it?
It is a combination.
It's a combination of things.
Right.
Brought a lot
And
of.
in fact, one of the things that we have is the cooks in the kitchen. Most of them are Latino. They're all legitimately here.
Yes.
And on Wednesdays we have specials, and the cooks come up with the specials to give it that extra little touch where they have some ownership in it and really want to make it taste really great because it's really theirs.
So that's what, that's integral to the creative process is that kind of involvement from all the people doing the work.
Right.
So, and speaking of which, how about we go talk to Chef Thomas now, learn about his journey and what
Let's
he's
do
doing.
it.
Oh, he's an
And
interesting guy.
well, we wouldn't expect otherwise here, but I want to thank you both for inviting us to the cafe.
Thank you for coming in.
We appreciate it very much.
So we continue our chat with the chef here at the cafe at Briarcliff Village with Chef Thomas Belil. I said that right, didn't I?
Perfect.
Oh my, I've been practicing it, showed, didn't it? All right, Chef, you have an interesting journey to this profession. Tell
I do.
us.
Well, I originally went through culinary school in the Twin Cities up in Minnesota. And shortly after my 21st birthday, I got a call to go on the Burlington Northern private rail cars and spent the next 6 years all over Canada, the United States, and Mexico.
So, as chef on a train. Yes.
As well, at the end of the 6 years, yes, I was a chef on the train. The first few years, I was
were-
the potato peeler,
Yeah, but every one of our chefs on this series tell us they started out peeling potatoes and so. Okay, so you grew with your management skills, cooking on a train. Did you like that?
Oh, I loved it.
You loved it. Tell me why you loved it.
Well, we never knew where we were
There
going
you go.
until the phone call came in. We knew we were going.
Yeah.
We just didn't know where. And it could be for 4 days or for 6 weeks.
So it's hard enough to cook in a hot kitchen, stand on your feet, and lifting heavy pots and pans. But the train's moving while all of that's going on. Did you just develop that balance?
You just got a rhythm. A chicka, 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 chicka.
So that's what you do.
Yeah, and truly, I mean, well, my wife could always tell when I was ready to leave town because we
start
had
moving.
we had wooden slats at the house on our windows, and unconsciously I'd start shaking them back and forth, and because the louvers on the windows of the train
Yes.
always shook back and forth and made that noise.
Okay, so it became the rhythm of your work.
It really did.
Okay, so from the trains to how'd you get to the cafe?
Well, I mean, there were a lot of casinos and hotels and even school districts in between. And
Very commercial, larger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And
Big crowd.
one Sunday morning after church, Judy came to me and said, "Don't you want to come work at our restaurant?"
They are very convincing and inspiring people. Oh, how fun
They've
was
been
that?
very generous with me.
So they came and sought you out.
And you know what started out as first consultation? I called Judy back and said, do you need a chef for that position?
Yeah.
And so we sat down and visited further and found out that we all work well together. and it's a very good atmosphere.
Okay, so executive chef, you don't just cook, you manage this kitchen. And what are the things that you take particular pride in? What are some of the things you're really careful with your staff?
Well, the first thing is caring for my staff.
Yep.
I have a great staff. My cooks are amazing. They, there's nothing that they love more than being able to please me or Joe and Judy. I mean, these guys, they absolutely love the fact that we give them positive attention back. Mm-hmm. And we are genuinely interested in their ideas, in what they're best at, because if they're excited about what they're doing, they automatically put out a better product.
They do. So a lot of opportunity for them to be creative. And
Absolutely.
a sense of ownership of what's coming out here on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know Joe had alluded to Wednesdays that we let the cooks actually come up with the special. And we've had everything from fish tacos to the best homemade sopapilla. I mean, the cooks are amazing. And, so Wednesdays is really their day to shine.
Okay. How would you describe the food here, other than Judy saying it was delicious? How would you describe the food here?
Well, I would like to say home style, but with a terrific culinary flair. Mm-hmm. I mean, our sauces and every single plate that goes out passes through the expo and myself. Mm-hmm. I see every plate that comes out into this dining room, and if it's not right,
It's
then
not going to go out.
then we've missed our last line of defense before it can get to the table. And
I really would like to talk about your pesto. That is some of the finest pesto. That's some of the finest pesto I've ever had. So great care with the food. Obviously, it's all made here with you, under your leadership, with your chefs. So what are we going to cook today, chef?
Today we are going to do a lemon pepper salmon on the broiler with pico parmesan risotto, fresh sautéed spinach, and we're going to finish it off with a chipotle orange glaze.
You know what? That sounds fabulous. I know we have a very distinguished celebrity taster coming. I think you and I should go into the kitchen and make that. And I think you should come with us.
Let's do it.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Rabikoff, and this week we are in the kitchen at the Cafe of Briarcliff Village with their executive chef, Thomas. Chef, what are we making today?
Today we're going to make a pico parmesan risotto, and we're going to start out with the risotto. We make a risotto in a batch,
Yes.
so that we can cool it and then utilize it on the line for several different flavors of risotto.
So how would you tell us to prepare the risotto up to this point if we were at home?
Well,
And I know the quantities are different, but...
the fact is that risotto is actually just a fancy name for arborio rice.
Okay.
And you would cook it just like you would your rice.
Okay.
One cup arborio rice, 2 cups water. Boil it 5 minutes, cover it, go back 5 minutes later, kill the heat, fluff it, and you have risotto.
And you're ready to go. Some people just play with it too much. So we've prepared the risotto to this point. Now, what do we have for this particular dish? What's our mise en place?
Our mise en place is simply Parmesan cheese, house-made pico de gallo, little salt and pepper, little chicken stock, and the risotto itself.
And the risotto itself. And I know you make this here, but you can purchase pico de gallo off the shelf if you want.
You can. An interesting fact about pico de gallo translates to the beak of the rooster.
I didn't know that. I learned something. Okay, all right. So a little bit of a Southwest risotto we've got going here. All right, so where to begin, chef?
Well, we're going to begin with a little chicken stock right off the bat. We just want to bring the temperature of our pan down a little, so we're not going to scorch the risotto going in.
I'm told that risotto does well when you don't introduce any really cold product. Just try to keep everything at a similar temperature, and then you're going to keep your risotto as beautiful as you've got it to this point.
Correct.
Yum.
We're going to go ahead and we're going to add in some of this pico de gallo.
Okay.
And one nice thing is not to be shy with what you're putting in there, because you truly want all the flavor to just boil right in there. I mean,
I know sometimes you see a risotto or rice or quinoa or whatever, and there's not much ingredient in there, and this is going to be immensely flavorful.
yes, it is.
Now, for those of us who don't saute the way you do, using a spoon or spatula is perfectly acceptable.
Yes, that works just fine.
Oh, look, so you're putting the cheese in towards the end.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yum. I've never done this combination before, and now I can say I have.
Well, the nice thing about risotto is it truly is just rice. So, I mean, if you want to flavor it, you can do anything you want. There's no right and wrong with this.
Oh, my word. That is heaven.
And that's our finished product for our risotto. That is it. Very
Okay.
simple, very quick.
Okay, Chef, we've got the risotto done. What's next on the plate?
Next, we're going to go to a fresh sauteed spinach with a little garlic, salt, and pepper. Very simple, very flavorful. We're going to start out with some olive oil in our pan.
Okay.
And our pan is just as hot as it can be.
See, and we have to always remember that when we're cooking, we need to get the temperature of the pan up first. And gorgeous fresh product. Now, the second thing we're putting in is
just a bit of garlic. We just need a little bit that we can shake around in there. And now our pan is good and hot.
So this one is baby spinach.
This is baby spinach.
And just to remember, it cooks down pretty quickly.
It does.
That looks like a lot, but it won't be.
It won't be. We're going to go with a little white wine here.
Oh, nice touch.
Because
I've not used white wine before, now I will.
and we just want to get it cooked down.
Light green.
Just about done with it. There it is.
All right, so it's not just all cooked down.
Nope. We want it just where it's bright green.
Okay, Chef, now for the star of the, or one of the stars of the plate, what do we have here?
We have some nice fresh salmon. All we've done is gone over it with a little bit of oil. We're getting ready to put it on our broiler, and then we'll season it with a little lemon pepper and just let it cook.
Okay, so we're not going to do too much to this. If we were at home or outside on the grill, would we want it hot?
You would want your grill
want
as
it
hot as
really
it gets
hot as we
before the
get it.
salmon goes on.
Okay, so what do we put down first, skin or the other side?
You know, I've already skinned this, but I like to go with the side that you're going to be presenting.
Down first.
Yep, because
Okay.
that way you only turn it once.
Okay, here we go. There it goes down. And I noticed you're looking for those beautiful grill marks. You're putting it down in what I would call a bit of a diagonal. And you start out with good product. And you end up with the best. Now, we haven't seasoned this yet, right?
Nope, we have not. We're just going to go with a little lemon pepper.
Okay. Oh, gorgeous. And how do you know when are you looking at the color on the side? How do you know when it's ready to turn?
Well, the best way for me is just watching it right down here.
Okay.
See how she's turning a little white here?
Yes.
We just keep an eye on that, because if we try to turn it too soon, it's going to stick to the broiler.
All right. You know, that's one of the things about salmon and any protein on a hot surface, and I'm one of the guilty ones too, is you feel you have to start playing with it, and actually it comes up just when it's supposed to if you leave it alone.
That is exactly
It's so hard
the
to
truth.
do, but we can do it. We're people of courage. Beautiful marks on it. Okay, Chef, we've gotten the risotto ready, the spinach ready. We've grilled the salmon. There's one other ingredient here before we plate, because you know we eat with our eyes first. Tell me what this is and how you made it.
This is a orange chipotle cream. Very simple. We took a cup of orange juice and reduced it by half. We took 2 chipotle peppers right into the pan, and then we went to the blender with it. Completely blended it. Then we put about 4 ounces of heavy cream in there to try and cut some of that chipotle spice.
Right. So it is that simple. It was done on the cooktop and blended off.
It's truly that simple.
It's truly that simple. Okay, Chef, how do we plate this creation?
Well, we're going to start out with our tongs and our spinach. Turn her over a little here. And we're just going to go right up here on the side with our spinach. And then we're going to bring in our risotto.
Another work of art.
One nice thing about
Yum.
the risotto is it tightens up with the cheese. We're just going to go ahead and put that risotto on either side of where our salmon is going to go. Then we're going to bring our salmon in right here. Just like so. And then we're going to go ahead and hit that with our chipotle cream.
And I call those ketchup bottles. I'm sure there's another name for them, but they're easy enough to find and they're wonderful.
Oh, absolutely. And we'll just finish it off with a little fresh parsley.
You know what? We're going to now go to the bar, pair this dish with a wine, and have a visit from our celebrity taster. Chef, thank you for inviting us into your kitchen.
The pleasure's been mine. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Rabikoff, and we have been in the kitchen at the cafe preparing their signature dish of salmon and risotto in orange chipotle glaze. Lots of interesting flavors, Chef. What should we drink with your signature dish?
Well, my choice would be a 2009 Rodney Strong Chardonnay.
And tell me why.
Well, the Chardonnay also has its own complex flavors with some very nice oak, some nice butter, and some nice fruitiness to it. And so the fruit goes very nice with the orange as well as the butter with the salmon.
So you've covered all the bases for us. All right, now the test, the final. Our celebrity taster is coming to taste the signature dish and sip your wine. Thank you for sharing your talent with us.
The pleasure is mine.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Rabikoff, and we have been in the kitchen at the cafe with Executive Chef Thomas. We've prepared a signature dish, paired it with wine, and to taste this creation, we have invited the president of Park University, Dr. Michael Droege. Thank you so much for taking time out of your, I know it is a very frenetic schedule, and coming and being our taster. Now, Chef, what have you prepared for the president?
Today we have prepared a lemon pepper broiled salmon with pico parmesan risotto, fresh sauteed spinach, and it's topped off with an orange chipotle cream glaze.
But you've never had that before.
I have never had that.
You've never had that
Never
before.
had that before.
Okay. Bon appetit.
And I
Oh,
love salmon.
And I should tell you that Chef chose to pair this with a Chardonnay. It's a Rodney Strong Chardonnay, Napa Valley.
Very good. Very good.
All right.
Thank you, Chef.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
So please, you take the first bite. I'm hardly able to contain myself. I got to see this being made, and I have to tell you.
I'm a slow eater.
You are? Oh, I think you're just holding on to that. This chipotle sauce is amazing. It's not yummy.
Delicious.
What are you tasting?
Delicious. Well, the chipotle is very clear, but it's not. But you taste the salmon. It's not just only chipotle. Fantastic.
Okay. Risotto. I've tasted a lot of. Ooh, I just got those peppers. They're talking to me. They're wonderful. I've never tasted risotto with pico de gallo, Parmesan, garlic.
Isn't it great?
Yes.
It's really creamy risotto too. So it's not.
You know what? Because he knows what he's doing. And he showed us how to make this to keep the moisture in the risotto and still infuse it with these flavors.
Magic.
Magic. He's a magic man. Here's another thing. That spinach looks like it's still with us. You know, sometimes people, we have spinach that's been abused.
I've seen that.
Okay, and he just, because when you start out with fabulous product, you respect it and care for it. See what he did? And finished it up with a
The
little wine.
spinach has a
never
bit
did.
of spice to it also.
I'm going to tell you what it is. That'll be our
Right.
secret.
Okay.
Okay. He did garlic. And a little bit of
Garlic.
salt and pepper.
It's not heavy.
Not heavy, but he, at the end, he put in a little bit of white wine, which I think preserved that fresh, bright flavor of this. You wouldn't have thought of that. No. All right, what do you think of the wine with this?
It's very good. Does he have the wine in the risotto or no?
No, he did put some wine in the spinach, but if you would like to, and to your health and to life,
To great dining.
we've got it in Kansas City. You did good, Chef.
It's really bright.
He wanted it to be buttery, a little smoky to stand up to the strong flavors. It's working, huh?
Well, it's perfect together. Everything is perfect together.
I've never tasted this kind of chipotle. I've never tasted risotto with these flavors, these particular flavors infused. So tell me, Park University was at one time Park College.
Park College. Began 1875. It's Park College.
We forgot what a great and long tradition we have here at Park.
Absolutely. Park is a gem. Became a university in 2000.
So that part's newer.
That's part newer. But we still have stayed with this great tradition Park has had, providing access to great education.
And the arts, you bring in arts from all
Arts
over
is
the
incredible.
world.
You know, and the proof of that recently is Park was ranked #1, the top university in the country for the best value in private higher education by a network of parents.
We need to celebrate all the wonderful things that
We
is
should
this
toast that.
community,
Let's
and
toast
Park is definitely one of them.
Absolutely.
Park University and the wonderful distinction.
Maybe we should start a culinary arts program.
You know what? I actually think that you should. It's one of the arts. It's a
One of the
performing
arts.
art, if you will.
Performing arts.
It is.
And so you've heard about our performing arts.
Well, I've had the pleasure of hearing some of your students performing through a wonderful patron, Benny Lee.
You know Benny well.
I do know
Great
Benny.
supporter of Park.
wonderful man.
Benny's a trustee. So you know about our magic that happens in the performing arts. Truly is a world-class program.
It's fabulous.
Started in about 2003 when we hired Stanislav Udinic, who is the Van Cliburn gold medalist. And then he
Right
set
here.
about recruiting the top talent from the world to bring to Kansas City. Never wanted huge numbers, but only the best. And one example of that is a young man who came to us about 3 years ago. And at the time had a full scholarship to Juilliard, turned that down to come study with Stanislav.
Oh, wow, that's a story.
And then, at the age of only 18, won the London International Piano Competition, and is now one of the greatest in the world. And he's still a junior at Park.
Please, baby.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
congratulations. That's a fabulous story. We have a lot to celebrate and be grateful for in this community. Park University is one. The cafe and the chef. I want to thank you again for taking time out to join us as our taster.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful.